All right, guys. Do you just turn on your device, whether it's PlayStation, PC, mobile, and you see Tower Fantasy app and just go, oh, this again? Feeling like you've eaten the same food for the 30th time in a row? Feeling like you've been working at the docks with Tommy, with the union on strike? You're down on your luck? Man, it's tough. Now, I know what you're thinking. Is this guy singing Living on a Prayer from Bon Jovi? No. Okay, maybe.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But in all seriousness, when it comes to Tower of Fantasy, the amount of videos, viewership, content creation is down on the game. You can see on Twitch, you can see on YouTube. I've seen many talk about why, but not many talk about solutions. Now, that could just because the devs just don't care. Hopefully, we see some of these changes. So we're gonna, in no particular order, just shout out the top five. So I'm gonna start off with one, just more events, more either mini events, more content when it comes to things of that sort. Like I really did have fun with some of the summer content mini game events, but I feel like the rewards were so short that you can't keep playing them and get, the red nucleus, the gold nucleus, the dark crystals. Like once you're done, you're done. And a lot of those mini games were pretty much fun, and some of them were a grind fest, but some of them were again really fun. And I kind of wish that they would do it. The one that was like a little tag game, I really had a lot of fun with doing that. But even if it's not even just mini events and things of that sort, just events in total, you know, if there's some way or another that they can, you know, because it might be too much of an investment to be trying to do a whole new map and everything with NPCs and stuff like that. Why not try to go back and make stories or do quests or something to go back into those older maps like Asperia and Vera? I know people still farm Vera. I'm still looking for a bunch of coins to keep going and summoning. But if they can give you, besides daily bounties, a reason to go back in, maybe there's other mini bosses that are showing up that you need to take down, or there's something to revamp the area to do some quests or side missions, I think that would be nice. Um, and again, that's just my recommendation. Something in those lines, that we can do something on those older maps where there's not too much a heavy investment trying to put on into a whole new map. Now, number two, rebuff the older SSR. Now, I know you're gonna say there's no way they're gonna do that. There is a gotcha game. They need to sell the new ones, and that is totally true. But if there is a way, and not a crazy way, but if there's a way to bring older units kind of up to the fold, up to par just a little bit more, just so that is valuable. I mean, not saying that they're not valuable, but some characters like Subasa, the game decided to give me A6 Subasa, and she's great at A6. You can buff a little bit, but she's not going to be doing crazy damage. She's not going to be outputting damage. Like Yulon at A0 and A1 is probably going to be doing more damage than A6 Subasa. So if there's any way that she can be buffed up a little bit, or characters that are not getting played, and they can buff them up a little bit, so that people who are mostly free to play, mini dolphins, can actually look at those characters again and revisit them just to use them on their teams and play test with that. It makes people like a free to play person that don't have a lot of chance to get a lot of these characters, and they happen to get these characters, but when they look on YouTube, when they look on when they're doing a raid or join up and they're not doing great numbers because other newer characters are blowing them out the water, it's kind of very, I don't know how to call it, but it just doesn't help the game when you have these older characters. And if there's some way or another to buff them a little bit, like I've come from like Dokkan Battle, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, and they have something called Easy A, where after a certain amount of years, people will go back, well, the developers will go back specifically on these older characters, these older units, and they will buff them up just to be up to the par. Now, there's a whole another discussion with, the game has been out for years and years. Now we're looking at those characters being buffed, not even nowhere near the new ones, but just to be able to buff them up a little bit, some sort of way to get them higher in the fold to be able to be used. Because again, as a newer character, as a newer player, people who don't want to spend too much money, like when you get these gold standard banners, it's pretty rough to see that you have a Subasa, or you have someone else like Cobalt B, and they're not really good damage dealing units and weapons. But that's just, everyone says otherwise, but that's just my personal opinion when it comes to older SSRs. If we can get some sort of buffing mechanic, that would be really good. Now, the third thing I want to say is we need, and I'm saying we need, a ton of purple weapons. We have like over 100 slots, I believe, for weapons, and we should have plenty of them. It should get to the normal where each banner would have at least one banner of a purple and a gold. And the purple is just like the gold, but like way underpowered. Not too crazy underpowered, but like for example, like the purple would be like A6 would be just as good as a gold, maybe A0, A1. But it has some sort of mechanic to work with that gold one. So if you don't have, let's just use Face. Face has a bunch of summoning mechanics that you need to have things out. So Lan, Leowa, characters that have summoning objects out on the field, she will help do more damage. Now, if you had a purple weapon that is similar to that will maybe not have as many summon objects on the field, but work with that, maybe people might enjoy Face a little bit more, because now if they couldn't, get Leowa, they couldn't get Lan, that they can actually pull for Face, and while they pull it, they get this purple character that they can get, and maybe they get it to A6, and now having it A6, you're unlocking all these summoning objects that be able to help use Face and this purple character. So I feel like we should have a bunch of purple characters. I don't honestly really know the timeline. I'm coming from PlayStation when it comes to Tower of Fantasy. So from my understanding, when I was playing through the story, it looked like when they started up Vera, which I'm assuming is 2.0, people are saying that Pepper was pretty much the last one or something in those lines, or it's like they all came out with just like 5 purple weapons. I believe it's 5, but they only came out with a few, and they have yet to revisit the purple. And I think they should revisit. We should have a bunch of purple weapons where it's very helpful. Now, I know a lot of people might be upset because the purple weapons, if you already have it maxed out, you would get a gold coin or whatever flame red coin. Now, by having these characters on, now you're losing that chance. But in reality, we really just want more weapons. We want more characters to play. So for those people who are whales, and I mean whales that will spend thousands and thousands of dollars, they're going to have all the characters they want. But the people who are free to play, maybe they only get the gold character one time, an A0. So if they have it at A0, but they got an A4 of the purple weapon, maybe they might summon a little bit more because they want to get maybe that purple weapon all the way. And in turn, they end up getting another gold SSR that helps them out. So I think we need to look at having more purple weapons in the game, just to give it a little bit more spice, to be able to have free-to-play players, not focus on specifically, hey, I don't have this, gold, this brand new character, and I don't feel like spending 120 summons for this character. Now, it's not smart, but if you already start a summon, you might as well follow through all the way. But if for some reason you don't get 120, at least you have a compensation prize of this purple character that is somewhat similar, that works with this character, but is not crazy overpowered. It just helps that character out a little bit more. And if you have this character, the new gold one, it just makes it, and they work together, and there's some sort of pattern when it comes to that every single banner. I think that would be very, very helpful for the game. And it's just, a little consolation prize. If you don't get the gold SSR, after 80 pulls, you do your pity. You don't think you're going to be able to get another 40 more pulls, or technically 30 more pulls, for 120 purchase weapon. Then at least when you did your 80 and you broke pity and you didn't get it, at least you got a new character versus the same old gold banner standard. So that's my third one. Now we're gonna go into number 4. My number 4 is, we gotta have more things for content creators to help keep driving the game more and more. Now, when PlayStation 5 when PlayStation released of Tower of Fantasy, both PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, they really wanted to push the game. And I know it was anniversary at the same time, but they really wanted to push the game, both PC, mobile, and PlayStation. And they wanted content creators to sign up so that, they can do live drops and things of that sort on Twitch. Now, you can't really do that really on YouTube as much. I wish they would do something for YouTube, but I feel like they need to keep the content creators happy. So you have free pretty much advertisement by having content creators like myself or other people that are able to make videos for the game and kind of push the game a little bit in the right direction, so that they can also help other people enjoy the game as well. When you're not communicating, when you're not talking to these content creators and asking for their opinions and actually, working with them and helping them, and on top of that, also give back to their community to be able to get more people to follow them, which then in turn helps the game, thrive a little bit more. They need to be some sort of way that they can do that. Just like in the beginning, they were giving away, every time you follow for that specific day, you got something like a 1 red nucleus, or some dark crystals, or special vouchers or something in those lines. Like, they need to do stuff like that so that you can constantly keep going back, go back to this streamer, go back to this person video and enjoy watching it. And while you're watching it, you're also getting to know the content more. You're getting to get a drop. You're learning about the game possibly. Or if you're a veteran, you know the game already, you can help others as well. And you can give your input and we can all share with each other. But by them stopping this in a sense where they don't keep that content creation going, where they help the content creators, but in turn the content creators help the games keep going, is just making it worse. It doesn't give a good light. And now, you have videos such as people that saying, hey, this game is dead, or I don't like this game, because there's not enough ways to get certain, in-game currency like red nucleus and dark crystals and things of that sort. Even it's just, some special codes, redemption codes that, certain people can get, and they're able to, they drop this code, and within a certain time frame they get this code and they get, 10 gold nucleus or something like that. Like, wow, you watch for a whole hour, boom, here's 10 gold nucleus, here's a code for it. Like, giving content creators the power to do that. And I feel like that would be very helpful if they can. If they can do that, that would be great free advertisement for the game. Now, number 5, communication to the player base. Now, many people complain that there's so many bugs in the game. Now, I personally don't see it that often. The one I see often when I play with Face is when I try to use her movement ability. It just keeps glitching me and wasting my endurance, and I'm in the exact same spot I was. So there are bugs. I don't see them as much as many people are complaining, but wherever I see Tower of Fantasy posts, a bunch of them, maybe the next 20 comments is all talking about, you got to fix these bugs. These bugs are annoying. Even on Discord, I will see the same as well. It's just, there's so many bugs that people are talking about. Again, I don't see them, but if they don't fix these bugs, people are going to see, if they don't fix these bugs, they don't care. And if the devs don't care, then why do I care to play a game? Why do I care to spend my time, my weekend, my late night hours playing, my hard-earned money to this game if they don't even make changes because of these bugs. These bugs have been out for months or something in those lines. Some way or another to communicate, hey, we've noticed these top 5 bugs. We noticed these 20 bugs. We noticed these things. Maybe every week we talk about it. Every month we talk about it. Or a hot patch comes out and they really go into details. Hey, look, this is what we fixed. This is what we're noticing. This is on our radar. This is what we can't figure out just yet. And things of that sort, just to be able to really talk to the community and help themselves with figuring out how to make the game better. Because if people don't see it and they don't communicate, it's really tough to want to play a game when you don't feel like you're being valued and you feel like the people who made the game that wanted you to play the game don't feel like they're also doing it. Now the devs might actually care, but they're not doing a good job at communicating that specific issue. And I feel like if they can communicate a little bit better and really say, you know what, this is what we're trying to do. These are the bugs we're trying to fix. We're trying to have a hot fix for this. Like if they can tell you that, that would be amazing. And that was the number 5. Now, I just got into Tower of Fantasy on PlayStation, and I will say I do have an honorary mention. Now, I know this is not going to change at all, but I have to just mention it. The fact that there is a CN, a China server, and a global, like the people who can play on the CN and understand the game of CN and read it and understand it, and they're able to make videos way in advance. And by the time people like myself and others get the game, we are looking at them great for advice, but now all the videos and the thoughts, ideas are pretty much dried up. Not saying content creators can't do it, but it feels like, well, you know, granted, it's good to be first. You want to always be accurate, but you want to be, when everything comes out, be able to say, hey, look, this new character is out. Now, like the new character is out for Alter, everyone's going bananas for it. And of course, CN has it and Global does not. So if they can shorten maybe the window, maybe even shorter than what they have right now after a few months, if they can shorten the actual time that CN has the new character, maybe by a week or two, even then, I know it might not make a difference, but I feel like that can make a slight difference that we're able to be, on the same par. And I just feel that that's just be my honorary mention. I know they're not going to change it, but I just figured I'll make that video. And those are my top 5. What do you guys think about it? Would you play Tower of Fantasy if you left? Would this win you back? If not, sign off in the comments below your thoughts. Are you agreeing with me, or you got other issues that I did not mention? Let me know, guys. All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.